Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, it's one of those days. It's just it's a real cloudy, gloomy day, but the sun is starting to peek out, and I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to talk about some amazing, if not exciting, Tesla news. We're going to talk about the Cybertruck. If you've been on the hinge of buying it, if you reserved yours a couple of years ago, it may actually come true. We have actual images, footage, real production, I don't know, inclinations that it's coming. You're actually going to get your Cybertruck. Tesla Model Y continues to outsell every car in the world, not only EVs. And then on top of that, more and more auto manufacturers, including some other EVs, EV companies, are actually jumping on the Tesla charging network bandwagon. So we're going to jump into all that. We're going to talk about some of the implications of the other EVs using the Superchargers as well. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So I'm going to start right into that. I'm going to start right into the charging network. You guys know, and I put a video out a couple weeks ago talking about how Ford and GM sort of jumped on the Supercharger bandwagon. Honestly, it makes sense. Everybody is sort of ditching the CCS adapter, which I know I showed you guys before, but you have the J1772 adapter that used to come with a Tesla when you bought it, and then you had to get this special adapter if you wanted to use Electrify America, some of the fast charging DC charge point connectors. You had to get this big hunky thing. This is a CCS adapter versus the Tesla. Now, there was never a plug to go the other way, so if you had anything but a Tesla, you couldn't use a Tesla Supercharger, and they did that by choice. It was like a proprietary thing, which is probably what's happening to some of the, I don't know, anger or resentment that Tesla owners are having with other companies and other vehicles being able to use the Tesla Supercharger network. If you go to an area like LA, you go to an area like Chicago, some of the southern markets where they have heavy supercharger usage, you get there's lines already. And now you're gonna have Ford, Chevy, or Ford, GM, and now Rivian. You're gonna have those other auto manufacturer purchasers using the Superchargers in addition to Tesla, so the line's gonna be even longer. But what I think now, there's a little asterisk with this. It comes from an area, I live in the Northeast now, we do not have long lines at the Supercharger networks. I do not live in an area that heavily promotes EVs, so you don't get, the EV adoption is probably a little bit slower than it could be, but what happens is, I don't have to face it, but people are gonna have to face it there, I know that. I think the good part about it is it's going to increase the EV adoption. It's going to increase, I don't know, EV usage nationwide. And in reality, it doesn't bother me that other companies might be using, other people might be using it. I think it's a good thing to have it. So that's there. But Rivian is the new one. Rivian is an EV manufacturer, and they came out with a CCS adapter, which is interesting because they came from Tesla, some of the executives at Rivian anyway, and it I don't know, like they never saw that they might have the opportunity to do that down the road. I think it's because they hated Tesla and Elon and all that kind of stuff, but either way, they're going to be doing this, and what they're going to do is get an adapter that produces this to this instead of the other way around. And what it's going to do down the road, they're actually going to produce the vehicles with this, the Tesla adapter anyway. It's going to come with that. It's going to come with a Tesla plug. So they're going to be at EVs, they're going to be at Superchargers, and it's coming anyway. And I think as a super good positive, they're even valuating Tesla as a billion-dollar company because of this, because they had such a large proprietary supercharger network, 30,000 superchargers across the country, globally, North America, South America, and now they can license and sell them basically. And they can sell them to other companies and charge sort of what they want, because it's the fastest charger that you can get if you have an EV. And I think what that's going to do is cause Tesla to produce more and more and more superchargers. We're going to see more V4 superchargers. They're even faster than the 250 or the 350, which is going to be huge. And I think that's just going to continue to perpetuate as we move forward. So I think there's positives coming out of that, but it's hard to tell. We'll know down the road. And that actually leads me to, if you think about it as a future planning kind of thing, the Tesla Model Y continues to outsell every car across globally, not just EVs. They outsold the Camry or the Corolla to Toyota. They've outsold the RAV4. other vehicles that are sort of hatchbacky, small size SUVs. And then on top of that, just cars in general. Now the Model 3 was Tesla's #1 seller, which doesn't surprise me because it was a sort of a car for everybody. And now the Model Y actually outsold the Model 3, which also makes sense. It's a little bit bigger, same specs for the most part as far as 0 to 60 speed, you know, chassis, all that kind of stuff. You just have a little bit more space in, and then it's like, why not? You might as well go for the little bit bigger one. Plus, this panoramic glass roof, and you don't have that that separator in there or anything like that. So it's a huge thing, and I think it's a big thing for Tesla. It helps kind of continue this. I don't know. I don't want to say global domination, but it helps kind of continue to grow the company. And I think as they continue to grow, they're going to continue to innovate and kind of develop as new things, which brings me into the Cybertruck. Now, they've been talking about this Cybertruck for as long as I've been talking about Teslas, which goes back 4 years now almost, which is crazy. And I think in the beginning, it was sort of like a pipe dream. We thought it was never actually going to come out. Elon talks about things like that all the time, like a flying car and, you know, just in general, he's a dreamer, I guess, if you say it like that. And the Cybertruck seemed like something that was never going to happen. And then when it did, when they presented it, people were like, it was polar opposites. People were divided. They either loved it or they hated it. You loved Tesla, but then you couldn't get past the design. It was real, you know, square cut, you know, angles and things like that. And if you come from a traditional truck, which is basically every other truck out there, and you were excited about a truck that was maybe an EV, this is a complete deviation from what you were used to. And in fact, he used that in the promo launch of the Cybertruck to talk about how much different it was and how good it was that it was different. You know, finally breaking the mold, almost like the Apple commercial of the 80s. It just, I don't know, but people either loved it or hated it. But either way, they loved it enough to pre-order over 1 million of them within the first year, and it's well over, I imagine it's well over a couple million now. Now, whether or not everybody's going to take them, it's hard to say. I think people kind of thought, well, it's never going to actually happen. And even if it does, then great. If not, then that's fine too. But what we're realizing recently, and it's been kind of rumored that it should be happening, is that it actually is. It's actually going to come out. And we've actually seen drone footage that was leaked to show like production. I mean, they've brought it to a couple events. Elon drove it to New York, or was driven to New York. Franz drove it around to an electric event. They've been seeing it in the wild, not frequently, but it looked like it was coming out of like an In-N-Out burger or I don't know, like a Chick-fil-A or something like that. You know, showing the versatility of it. And I think it's actually, they have drone footage showing it within production line. People are getting notifications that put in pre-orders for it to say, hey, your car is being built and it's going to be coming soon, which before used to be like, yeah, sure. Because then it was usually followed up with, yeah, soon, like within the next few years, almost like full self-driving. But now it's actually seems like people are going to get it. I have some friends that pre-ordered it. As soon as we see it, if they actually get it, if they get the order comes through, I'll make sure and show you guys some videos of it or whatever we can get. But either way, there's so much exciting stuff on the horizon or stuff that's coming there, and I can't wait to, I don't know, see where it goes. I'm excited about the EV thing, but again, I think I get to my first Supercharger and there's, you know, 50 Chevy Bolts waiting to get in there. It might change my opinion a little bit, but until that happens, I'm excited for sort of an increased adoption. I'd love to see more V4 Superchargers, you know, when I go to them and stuff like that. But either way, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys following the channel. We're coming up on 3 years now, which is crazy to me. And I appreciate you guys kind of sticking with it. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month so far. Whatever season it is, whatever month it is, I hope you can enjoy what little sun that's there, if it's there. If not, then maybe smile that the plants are getting some rain. So, you know, thanks for tuning in and stay safe out there, everybody.